I guess it's probably a good time for us to get into our little programming note that we've got here that we're diving into a new experience. Do you want to announce it or do you want me to?
So the idea was in my brain at the time that we really, during our weekly shows, we really don't spend a lot of time on AEW product because, well, you know how we feel. However, equal time, folks. So what we're going to do is on Thursdays, you guys are going to watch, you know, your SC Maniacs like you always watch. And then at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do our AEW Dynamite review live on YouTube.
Yes, we are going to. This is great practice for me, too, because I got to figure out how to get us to be live on YouTube, too. So, you know, going for reviewing AEW the day after is pretty much is one of the best ways to kind of do that and get me some practice with it. So yeah, 8:45 Eastern, and I've already got a thumbnail made. I'll post it after this, and but yeah, we'll be live on YouTube 8:45 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably only go like an hour, maybe a little longer. I don't think we need to go too long.
The plan is for you people to have your programming for the night. SC Maniacs first, us second, and then This is Awful.
Yeah, exactly. We're kind of, we're in that little sweet spot between them which is great because we've had all four of those guys on our show before and they're four amazing people to interact with. So, and I know a lot of people, you know, because I like to do it. I spend a lot of my time watching it on live shows, interacting with people. It's more fun than watching regular television, you know? And so, you know, yeah, I've even ordered, like, not for this week, I don't think, but I've even ordered a camera.
Wait a minute.
Behind me.
If we get a certain amount of number, we'll discuss it on Thursday. We get a certain amount of number of likes.
We
get a certain amount of number of likes. We'll decide if we go on camera or not.
Yeah. Well, because the whole idea is to drive more eyes to us, more subscribers.
I'm trying to make this a game where we get likes.
I like it. No, I'm all for it. More likes, more subscribers. That's every time I get that little notification that you have a new subscriber, like it's an amazing shot of dopamine. So please help us out. We're gonna. The other kind of slogan I'm kind of thinking is, you know, we'll watch Dynamite so you don't have to. We'll give you the review of it.
Yeah, we got some great production value too.
Yeah, hey, we always do with our production team, which is just one guy. But our production team, Chuck,
it all works.
No, thank you. I'm excited for this, so this should be a lot of fun. And then to go SC Maniacs, us, and then This is Awful. That should be a fun Thursday for folks, especially to kind of recover from and we wanted to kind of find a good time to start, and the first Dynamite after All Out seemed like the perfect first one to review, and so this will be the first because I've known we were going to do this for a few weeks. I purposely haven't watched Dynamite in a while. So this is going to be like, hey, I'm coming back in. Bring me into your show. Hey, make me a fan of your stuff. I'm giving it a full on honest effort and going to take notes of, hey, if they succeed, great, but probably where they fail. It's going
to be fun.
It'll be fun. If nothing else, we'll be able to crack some jokes, have some fun.
At this point, I think most of you understand my humor and Jake's humor. Mine's a little different, but you know where it's coming from at this point.
Yeah.
So you're going to get lots of that.
Yeah, we're going to, and then we'll have interaction. We'll be able to read the chats and,
there'll be no super chats yet, so don't get excited.
Not in that way. There is a method where
people.
Yeah, no. Well, I think I found a tool that they can chat through that, and then I'll see it, and I can still put it on the screen. I'm working on things behind the scenes on that through another service, so we'll see until we can actually get the real super chats from YouTube. But,
all you do is have them send it to your PayPal or Venmo account.
Right? Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a valid point.
That's how everyone does it now. So
yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yeah. And I could get a, QR code for that too. Yeah. See, this is why we do this stuff. I learn better by doing. So we're better off instead of preparing, just dive right into it. So this Thursday, you will see us going live. It'll be fun. I'm excited for it. All right. So anything else you want to cover before we just dive right into,
October 5th,
October
5th on our Spaces, we're going to have a special guest from overseas, so be prepared for an early start.
Yes. If anybody listening to this that is based in the UK or Europe or anything like that, October 5th, we will be going early and more for your time locally, as opposed to, because I know if you're listening to us now over there, it's like 2 a.m. So.
Yeah, I'm talking to him tomorrow, and we'll get the time established and go from there.
Perfect. Yeah, just let me know. I let the couple UK folks that I know from my end of it about it, just so they can at least have some audience with it for it. So, and we'll tune in early. That'll be fun.
Yeah, once we announce the guest, we'll get a lot of people watching. Trust me.
All right. I love it. Shoot. See, I find out live with everybody else, but usually who would win our guests.
I got to make sure it's 100% before I go blabbing.
And I appreciate that. Better than Jay. Yeah. I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious, but I believe in jinxes. So I'm with you there. Don't count your chickens.
Yeah, I wait to make sure it's 100% plus another 10%.
Yeah. No, for sure. Which actually can lead into Wrestlepalooza, because speaking of being 100% sure, they knocked it out with telling people and making this very easy.
Okay, I'm going to step in on this one real quick.
Please.
I learned that YouTube TV is not officially signed up yet.
Oh no!
So
really,
I hit my watch button and it goes nope.
Oh shit!
YouTube TV is not on board with this yet, and I saw people in chat saying the same thing earlier too. So YouTube TV is not in. So yet.
I didn't.
Neither is the one that Brian Last has. I can't remember. Either. They're not in yet either. So Comcast. Bingo.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of companies not signed up yet. So I have ESPN Plus already, which I kind of forgot about.
And that migrated over. Oh, I kind of lost you, George. No, I lost you there. Say that again. You kind of went silent for a second.
Are you still there?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah,
no I didn't.
I think your internet just went silent. So just say that again about what happened.
No, I went, I have ESPN Plus, so I just added to it basically.
Oh, okay.
Now it just, instead of paying $19 for that, I pay $7 more and I got a discount of
so my wife and I, so that's similar to what we did. We figured it out last week. We kind of, because we like rearranged our TV packages or our streaming packages or whatever, and like added that to the Disney one. I think basically it ends up being like $8 extra a month for what it is from what we had. But that's whatever. Either way, once I got it, hit play, it worked amazingly well. It was very smooth.
Not happy.
I'm sure I didn't realize that happened. I didn't know that. You didn't text me that.
So no, I didn't. I wanted to save it for today.
It's good. I'm glad, because I didn't know that. I thought you would. So now, is that something that they're working on getting that deal done, or?
Dude, I don't know. Because even when I heard Brian Last say his company didn't, they said that it hasn't signed up as of yet. So I don't know what's going on there. I really don't.
I wonder. So you know how sometimes like cable companies or whatever will get in spats with networks and like
you'll see on your satellite that CBS locally is not
right because I remember when I had DirecTV there was the commercials that I think it was like Viacom, which is CBS or like they won't have a deal with ESPN like if you want to watch your favorite games, and usually the deals get worked out, but I know for a fact because it happened to me at least twice where like it didn't get worked out by the deadline. And for like 2 to 3 weeks, you don't have ESPN through your cable or whatever. So I wonder if this is kind of like a stalemate where like the two go, and maybe let's see if like YouTube, if YouTube gets enough people pissed, that'll break. That's crazy.
Yeah. I wasn't happy.
Oh, okay. So, it's Xfinity.
Okay.
Mike Glass clarified. I knew, Spectrum, which is owned by Comcast, they have it, but Xfinity doesn't, which is crazy because wasn't there an Xfinity commercial?
Yes.
During? Yeah. Okay. That's
what I thought. Xfinity.
Son of a bitch. That's literally the reason I didn't say Xfinity and I switched to Comcast is because there was an Xfinity commercial. I was like, I thought Brian had Xfinity. I pay attention. God damn it. How are you going to sponsor somebody and not get the deal to work with you?
Very odd.
That is some weird corporate shit that is above my pay grade, man.
Fortunately, I was afraid. My son's a big fan, and he's back in Buffalo. And I wasn't sure. I'm like, it's a long story, but I'll just condense it. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to get it, and it's tough to explain to him for various reasons. I'll go,
Right.
you know what's going on there.
Right. Yeah.
So I kind of had
It was work.
I had one of the people that work under the place house. He calls me today, and I'm like, dude, he's not going to be able to get this. And the guy goes, yeah, he is. You got him the Disney bundle a long time ago.
Oh, it's in that. Yes.
Christmas is ago. I bought him the Disney bundle. It's in that. They had one button to push, and that was it. Done.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's
So I was really happy there. That made me happy after I was mad.
That when my wife and I, that's what we switched over to, was literally what it was called, was the Disney. And then my television, when you hit the home button to pull up the apps, there's a sponsor on that. And for the 48 hours before Wrestlepalooza, it was two things: the NFL and Wrestlepalooza. And Wrestlepalooza, it even had the Brock and Cena like face things for the match. Like they were like, you know who these people are.
That's why I thought I had it, because I showed you the picture of my TV.
And I didn't even listen when like they were doing the thing when Cody was doing when they had R-Truth doing it too, but like they're like on SmackDown, and Cody was even saying, here's how you do it. And he listed, if you have any of these providers. I just tuned it out because I wasn't paying attention. I just assumed it was in there because, oh man.
Yeah, I did too.
That's crazy.
I did too.
Obviously, you weren't the only one. I'm seeing it in the chat right now. I'm seeing other, like, Rabbit said it happened to him too. Yeah, it happened to other people too. Because, I mean, it makes sense because there's certain ones you would just expect to be in there, and YouTube would be one of them, and Xfinity when they're a partner. That's so weird. That's crazy.
I would have thought too, but
we'll
see. We'll see.
It would have made a lot of sense, but
it wasn't like it killed me. I'll just say that it was just like an additional $7.
Right? Yeah, that's
fine.
Not paying an extra 30 and then 20 on top for the pay-per-view.
Because I totally forgot I had ESPN Plus. Now ESPN Plus doesn't exist until under the limited plan, so you're set.
Yeah, that was once we switched over to the Disney thing, because I had the ESPN Plus app and I clicked on that and I just had to re-log in with the new password with it.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy with it. But I did not know that about YouTube. I would bet before the next one that deal gets worked out, right? You would think it would have to, just because so many people have that stuff, like especially YouTube TV. I mean, shit, even my parents.
I'll guarantee this. More people have YouTube TV and Direct TV,
especially now because they've got the.
I'm going with it.
Yeah, they got that once you got Sunday Ticket. I mean, that was why. When I started with DirecTV for however many years ago that I got it with them, that was the reason I had it, was for mostly just for the Red Zone channel. I was like, I don't care about the guys who want the Red Zone channel.
Yeah, I had it for all those years too. I still got it now because of the Buffalo games.
It makes the most sense. I mean, that's where the eyes in this country will always go to. That's why it's an
amazing change. It really is.
Yeah. But yeah, I was speaking, and then during all the college football games and all the baseball games and everything on ESPN, all you saw were ads, or like the bookends of ads, or the banner ads on the screen was for Wrestlepalooza and the new ESPN app. They crammed this down your throats, man. Which was good. I mean, they had to. I mean, this is how you introduce a new system. And I also saw a few different ways too that people are posting where there were certain apps that gave like a week's free trial, and it was included so that if people wanted to at least watch the first one, they could for free. And so it was, but I'm very curious to see what the numbers they'll release for it will be, because I wonder how many people actually did tune in and watch the show.
Yeah, ESPN will tell us, that's for sure.
I figure like they will. Does ESPN not like release the numbers for big games or whatever with it?
They always release the numbers. Yeah,
okay.
always.
So, all right, yeah.
I'm always like an ABC ESPN game. You'll see 38 million people. They put it up there all the time.
Yeah, because I'm absolutely it's big time. I mean, it's big time sports with it. But
I like the way they did everything. I'll save it for when we talk about it, but the show didn't live up to my expectations in the least bit. So,
all right, well, let's get into it, because I thought the show was good for what it needed to be. But again, I looked at this show a lot like I looked at the Netflix premiere, where this was more of a showcase for what we are and big stars and big events, because in their eyes, this is getting it the opportunity to be in front of 200 million households or however they put it with it. But like, I mean, initially though, like what didn't live up to it initially for you, I guess. Is
I didn't think the show was all that great. I didn't well, let's go through it with the beginning match, and I didn't expect what happened in the beginning to happen. So start from there and we'll go through it. I'll tell you as I go.
I mean, the opening match with it, it was funny. I actually posted, I'm like, Heyman to introduce Brock. I just had a feeling that was going to happen with it, but I thought he was going to come out with Brock. So I thought they did it well, at least initially, where Brock came out on his own and then gets in the ring.
He's going at least 295, 310.
Jesus.
Holy crap.
He's like, the way his arms, like, was it the traps? Is that the ones over your back? Like,
Dude,
his
he
arms
went from head to chest. There was no neck.
Yeah, there's no neck. Yeah, no, it's insane because he's always been a giant monster that someone's as horrifying and scary. But like, you look at him now, it's like, that's the biggest. It's the
biggest I've ever seen him.
Yeah, I mean, when Pat McAfee calls him the alpha male of our species, like, he's not. Like, that's not an exaggeration. That's not an overstatement. Like, that's what he is. He skipped levels of evolution the rest of us will never see. And
McAfee made a joke. He's going about, what did he say? He's going about 315, 320?
I think he said
320. Cole goes, no. I'm like, yeah, pretty close, dude.
Because it's all muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat. No, he was massive. He's massive. And he's still so fast.
You could tell he was puckered out at the end, though.
But he's a sprinter, not a marathon runner.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Right.
He was pooped, but
he's Usain Bolt, not I don't know a famous marathoner off the top of my head. Damn it! But for him, it is a sprint, not a marathon. And
right.
I mean, you knew he was going to lead off we knew he was leading off the pay-per-view before they announced he was leading off the pay-per-view. If you're not going to go last, you're going first. But I mean,
squash match.
Yeah, well, it was. I feel like they did a combination of the two big matches that they had after Brock's return, the SummerSlam one, the Extreme Rules one, where Cena fought hard and came back, and the other one we got his ass kicked. They kind of had Cena keep fighting at the beginning, but it ended with him getting his ass kicked.
If I had again, I could be wrong, but if I have to go back and look at John Cena's time of offense, it can't be more than 2 minutes.
Well, the whole match is only 8 minutes and 50 seconds.
Right. So I'm thinking it's a squash match.
It was.
With Cena having that one really good spot.
Yeah, he hit the 2 AAs, right? Yeah,
right. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. That was it right there.
That was it.
Good.
Yeah, you're
good
right.
Call. Thank you.
No, I mean, it was definitely surprising. It was, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things I'm not sure where they're going to go with it. And I still have this like randomly weird feeling that they're going to add more dates to Cena, but I mean, maybe not.
I'm not thinking that way.
Yeah. I mean, we're running out of time. We're kind of,
I saw his dad did some interview, and that number's pretty etched in stone, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure he's got
to get out. His back is fried. You can tell by the way he walks.
Oh yeah. No, for sure. You could tell by the way they were, not so much by the way he wrestles, but the way other people wrestle him. Like even Brock was throwing him around way more gently than he normally does.
Yep.
You got to. But
I didn't expect this to go like it did. I'll just leave it at that.
I wasn't initially, but when I watched the pre-show, or not the pre-show, but I watched the thing on ESPN, the day before, like the Wrestlepalooza special, and Big E at one point said, like, that could happen. I could see this happening. And, so it was in the back of my mind that it could, but I just didn't expect it to be so just, bam,
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah. The second match, I feel like this was kind of like the first real match to lead him off with was the Bronze versus the Usos. The Usos entrance was fun. I think they like redid the theme song, so now they're both in that one. So I guess that's going to be like the Usos theme, and Jay will have his own. It's basically the same song, but I forgot they did the new Then Now Together Forever opening,
in the beginning,
which was pretty cool how that worked and how that flowed through, and then it ending with like the entire crowd doing the yeet, because I've been in the crowd twice for that happening, and it is one of the coolest things to actually just see in person. So it ends perfectly with those of it. But, oh, and they made LA Knight the special guest referee. I didn't see that going into it because I was watching All In, but, or All Out, but they had, they fought backstage, and so Adam Pearce, which gets LA Knight on the card. That's cool. That's always fun. Makes sense because, I mean, he does get a pop. He is a star. I do still think he's turning heel, though. But we'll see.
Got to do something because
he's kind of treading water, right?
You talked about this before. He's hanging there.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's why they moved him to Raw, like, 3, 4, 5 months ago to kind of refresh him there. But now he's kind of hanging it again. So now it's like, got to heel turn him to keep it going with him. But Division 1, which I thoroughly expected to happen. The whole point of bringing the Usos back together was so that Division can say they beat the greatest tag team in WWE history. Like that. Duh. If anybody expected anything else, I don't know what they were expecting with it. And it was a pretty dominant win with Heyman there. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was what it needed to be.
Yeah, and they did a nice spot afterwards too in the after show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, cool. You've got to have, I mean, the storylines are moving forward. You got to,
they do a nice job of that. I'll give them that.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say they do it right, and they don't do it in every match. There was no afterbirth in the first match with it. And so they make it matter and they make it important so that when it does happen, you pay attention because if it's happening every single match, like if it happened, this is the only match it happened during, I thought something might happen after the main event, but nothing did. And that's fine. You don't need an afterbirth for every single one. Match of the night was the next one, which was my favorite match of the night, probably my favorite match of the weekend, not just because Stephanie Vaquer won, but this was a fantastic match. Stephanie versus Io, in the singles match for the vacant women's world championship. It went just over 20 minutes. These two can go. You're hard pressed for me to find two better technical wrestlers, women's wrestlers in the world right now than these two.
20 minutes, you said?
20 minutes, 11 seconds,
okay.
It said. Yeah.
From my vantage point, the first 10 minutes were very sloppy. They looked like they were very nervous. It was not a good match. This is my opinion. In the first 10 minutes, I didn't think they were very sloppy. Things looked off. They looked like they were rushing too much. It just didn't look good. And then they seemed to, I don't know what happened, where it happened, but it happened. And they got on the same page, it looked like, and they were
the reverse of a Jade Cargill match. It's like
the first 10 minutes were very, it was off.
Yeah, no, there was off.
And there were a lot of things that were just hurried, and it looked like they were trying to chain wrestle, and it didn't look good at all. And I was becoming very disappointed, but they got it back together somewhere in the 15-minute mark, I think. About 12 maybe. Yeah, no, I was enjoying that part on.
Yeah, no, I was just saying it's like the reverse of a Jade Cargill match where there's a point where she just gets lost and then the match goes to shit. No, it's a good way of putting it because it was a little rough at the beginning with it, but
if you look at it, they were hurrying a lot of their spots.
Which I mean that can make sense. I mean,
I get that.
Yeah, I get it, but and I think the nervousness is probably a big part of it, especially for Stephanie, where she knows she's gonna. I mean, this is her big crowning moment, and it's also with her father there, and it's pretty sure that was the first time he's ever seen her wrestle live, or at least first time wrestle live for the WWE. So I can see there being a lot of nerves and emotions for it, sure. But I enjoyed it. I give a lot more leeway with a lot of that stuff, especially too where as long as it's not like when you're overly trying to be cooperative and holding somebody up on the top rope for 32 seconds like Pac and then driving off. But I totally get what you're saying, 100%.
If I'm gonna not like something on one, I'm not like something on the other. So
no, for sure. 100%.
I get you. Where I'm consistent.
Yeah. But this was cool to see, and it was the right finish. I think Stephanie needed to win. I'm glad that there wasn't any like shenanigans or anything that could be considered like that cost EO or whatever. It was just a good match, and they had the little like show of respect at the end for baby faces, which I enjoyed, which was great. And then Stephanie won, and they put a lot of great posts on social media about it, and I'm excited to see her on Raw tomorrow. I don't know if she's going to open the show, but she might. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
might. Kind of promo.
Good chance.
I also saw that she just recently did a new interview with Chris Van Vliet. And again, like you talked about, like she's busted her ass to be able to speak the language of the country that she's in to get herself more over. And, you know, like we don't see a lot of other, like, you know, I don't see everybody doing that. And that's why
and
she's
that's our
done
special, that's our special guest for October 5th.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's Jake, as Jake passes out, just done. So the big star match of the evening, where it's CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. This one went a little bit too long for sure. I don't know why this would needed to go 29 minutes and 18 seconds.
19 minutes would have been perfect.
I was literally going to say you could have lopped 10 minutes off of that puppy and it would have been just fine. There was way too much going in with that one, but I also feel like that's probably what happens when you have these 4 stars and types of people in it, and WWE's a little bit more not as rigid with the you know, with where everything has to be as scripted as it used to be, and you can have a little bit more freedom. And I think we saw it in this match, and it was fine. The crowd enjoyed it. You know, a lot of people I saw online were really loving with it. It wasn't my favorite match, but it was fun. You know, and it was what it needed to be.
I wasn't sure what the whole deal was with Rollins skipping for 15 minutes.
He was just making fun of it. He was just making fun of
it went a little, that's why things went long. He did it for a while.
Yeah, there was a lot of that.
I thought someone was hurt at first.
There were some things that just went too long. Yeah, there was. I mean, we get it. You're mocking AJ. You don't need to continue to mock AJ. Like, we get it. It's fine. You know.
I will give credit to Seth and Becky for the best entrance of the evening.
Nice. Okay, yeah, yep.
Nicely
and shout
done.
out to their gear. Their gear was a tribute to the Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. That's why they had like their matching colored gear was for that, which I didn't find out till afterwards. I knew there was some reason behind it, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, you know, you gotta appreciate stuff like that.
That was a cool entrance. I liked it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, and I'm a sucker for a good entrance. I've always been one of those people. You know, I admit it. I'm a mark for a good entrance, man. I always have been. But yeah, it would like I see people like Mike Glass saying the match absolutely sucked. Yeah, I mean, if you weren't really if you weren't really into the AJ Lee part of it, which not every, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a great match. It was a story and fun, but yeah, no, it went too long for me, like with the submissions. And I get what they were doing, but I feel like everything they were doing, you know, they did like, you could have done 3/4 of it and it would have been fine. If you cut a quarter out of each spot, you're getting this match down to like 18 minutes and it would have been perfect.
Got to also take into account there was such thing as ring rust.
This is true. Oh, and I feel like I felt like for me, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think with AJ, it wasn't so much that I feel like it was her timing that was off initially, and eventually she kind of got there with it, but you could see early, like she still had the motions down, but just her timing was off.
The kicks were off.
Yeah, and I mean, of course they are. She hasn't wrestled on TV in freaking, what do they say, like 11
Which
years?
Is why this angle shouldn't, okay, we can get into this now if you don't mind.
You know, whatever you want, man.
This whole thing was rushed.
Absolutely.
This whole thing was rushed. It should have been, just because they threw this pay-per-view together to screw with AEW, they had to throw this in there. She just premiered last week.
It's not so much, just really quick. I think it's less to screw AEW and more that ESPN paid.
Either
I think it's the ESPN wanted in early.
Okay, ESPN, you're right. You're right.
But you're right. It's absolutely rushed, because that was why when they...
She just came back last week.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Last week.
It was right after... I mean, they came back from Paris, and it was the first SmackDown back. She's been back, like one SmackDown after that. Yeah, and that's why when they announced this deal with ESPN and initially, and then it was like, oh, but we're coming in for the pay-per-view too right now, because when it was initially announced, pay-per-views were on PLEs were on Peacock through Mania 42. And then instead of not even to the end of the year, we're like, no, we're done after Clash and starting in September. So yeah, they had to put everything into this, and I get why it happened, but you're absolutely right. It was definitely rushed.
This could have been the one that they could have put in something. I don't know what. Okay, I don't know what, but they could have put in something else beside this and let this brew for another Perth.
Yeah,
because Perth is
the next one. It's not that far off. You're right. No, you're right.
October 11th?
Something like that. Let's see.
I think it's October 11th in Perth. I think
I could pull it up right there. What is it? Crown Jewel Perth? Yeah. It is. You are correct, sir. October 11th, down in Perth, which means it's like 3 a.m. for me. The Australia shows are rough for us here on the West Coast. Yeah, no,
7 for me.
I have yet to watch them live.
6.
But I'm sure the app will be great because I had no issue. Like the app should be good for watching it on a replay with it. But yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from with it. Like they rushed into it, but I see why they did it. Those are huge names. It's a big match. Return of AJ Lee.
I get it. But...
And so I think in that sense of it, it worked and it was fine. But I also saw a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this match," because the people that love this match are like, "Why wasn't it on last?" And I'm like, the reason it wasn't on last is because for the rest of us that could, watch it objectively, it wasn't the best of a match. Which I thought.
There's no reason why this should have been. There's no reason it should be a main
event.
No,
well, see, I mean, Cody and Drew being the main event. Yeah, exactly. Because Cody and Drew for the title, unless you're going to have a massive storyline after a match, having the main event the world title should be the main event, unless there's a reason not to. And there wasn't for this card.
There was
no.
Yeah,
and Cody and Drew are two guys who can go and put on a fantastic match. And there was a couple of times you thought Drew might win. He had that visual pinfall on Cody and, Wade was selling it.
I feel so bad for Drew. Dude.
I mean,
Oh, we never did mention that CM Punk and AJ actually won.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. That's a good point.
Yeah. Never finished that.
Yeah, no, that AJ got Becky to submit. You're right. That's a valid point. I guess I kind of feel like I don't think anybody's using us yet to be their news for the show. One day, my friend, goals. Anyway,
but I will tell you one thing. Becky is a heel. Her selling is so good.
Becky, this heel run is some of Becky's best work. Like the big time Bex character, I mean, let's be real, it was trash. Like they just weren't done well. It was like a Vince's version of what Becky should be as a heel. And what she's doing now is more of what she wants to do as a heel, cause she's great at it. She's a chicken shit. She has no problem looking like a complete idiot and because that's what heels should do. Get their comeuppance. That's part of the deal with it. And she's, like when Seth said, luckily I've got somebody who will, and he looks back, and then Becky immediately looks back behind her. Like, what, we talk to somebody else? Like she's great at this. Like that was an amazing sell job on Raw.
If you think AJ wasn't looking good at all, think about how bad she would have looked if she wasn't with Becky.
Yes.
Because Becky did her best to cover up stuff that you can see. Well, like we talked about, AJ's timing was a little off and kicks were off. Becky sold that shit like it was.
Shout out to Becky Lynch as a true professional for sure. But yeah, the main event was fine. It was fine for what it was. You knew Cody was going to go over and keep the title, at least for now. I mean, Drew definitely deserves a title run at some point, but
when though, dude?
I just feel like right now with the ESPN deal and with Cody being the champion, I mean,
that's the problem. They fucking set themselves up for having Cody had a win because he's all over the place on ESPN. He is a
great ambassador for the company. Like, there's not many people better than Cody in an interview. You know what I mean? Especially too, like, you can kind of use that name. You can use his namesake for the people that, like, if you have lapsed fans from long ago, like, oh, that's Dusty's kid, like that part of it too. And he's great in interviews. He's an amazing baby face. He's good with kids. Like, he can make fun of himself. Almost everything that I've seen him do in interviews or like the funny YouTube videos where they're eating weird snacks or showing you what's in your bag and stuff. Like he's great at all that shit. And like, that's still one reason why I don't understand why AEW didn't use that more when they had him, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, he was doing all the shows on ESPN leading up to it too, so you kind of knew. But you feel bad for Drew because, Jesus Christ, the poor guy can't get a break.
Yeah, but I think he's making that work for him. Like, he's really just adding that into his character.
I don't know. It's running out. We're running out of time. He had the belt during the COVID era. There we go. Words, and that kind of gets lost. I feel bad for him. He's busting his ass.
Yeah, but I mean. he's making it work for his character, though. I really think it is working for it. Now,
I'd rather see him as a champion sooner than later.
Yeah, I just don't know how you do it though and when, because I mean, obviously the men's title.
It should have been done a while back, to be honest with you.
But when though? Where? What time?
It should have been done back.
Maybe during maybe during the long-term Roman reign was probably some point in there, but they were working with what they were working with in Roman's story. Like that's the problem. It's one of those things, like not everybody can have the title at different points, even with two of them. That's why when people say like, oh, you should combine the titles, I'm like, Jesus, then nobody's getting title reigns. Because
I always feel bad for the poor bridesmaids, and I always feel bad for Drew. I'm just going to stick with that.
I get you. No, I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying like it's one of those situations that just kind of.
Oh, I know, but you got to squeeze him in before he's done.
Sucks.
That's all.
Yeah. No, I don't think I think he's got plenty of time left. I think.
Oh,
but maybe not if he keeps doing movies and stuff. So I know he was in that recent Batista movie. So
yeah,
maybe. Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm with you on that. But I also feel like he is. At least he is still doing great work. He's in major matches. He was in the feud of the year last year. So, it's and I'm sure he's getting a fantastic paycheck. So
he's 40.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got I would say he's got another 5 good years left in him.
Oh boy. Hope so.
I feel like at least in the modern era especially with the way guys have nutrition and then, modern medicine, do the Rey Mysterio, go down and get the stem cells. Get the stem cells in the knees. Everybody says how great that is. I mean, shit, even JBL got that and now was hitting more clotheslines once he got those.
Yeah, but you got
to get his knees fixed.
I'm like, I can go down there and get them.
No, yeah, must be nice. If I could, I would, because I got a rough knee issue. But oh shit, look at that. We went an hour and a half just yammering about. That was awesome. Well, yeah, that was, I would grade the first ESPN show a solid B. It was what it needed to be. Like I said, I was going into it expecting it to be comparable to the Netflix premiere. That in my head, that was what this show was kind of be similar to, but just maybe a little bit more match heavy versus TV show heavy, which is what it was. And I enjoyed it. I was sports entertained. They thought I watched the post show. They started to set up Cody versus Seth for the Crown Jewel Championship because they're going to do that in Australia, I guess. So whoop-de-doo. I'm not a big fan.
I went B-. All
right. That worked.
I wasn't extremely happy. I wasn't extremely sad. I was right.
Yeah. Now, I'm very curious to see if there are any numbers that come out of it or what ESPN says. I feel like ESPN has to be fairly happy with it because, I mean, I didn't have any lagging issues. I didn't get kicked out at any point.
No, that was the one thing that was good, dude.
The only thing is at one point, like one of the commercial breaks, took 10 seconds to start. But once it was finished, I just clicked down and went to live and it brought me those 10 seconds back. And I never had an issue. I never had an issue again. So for their first time, I give them props for making that successful because nothing worse than when your first run out there and there's a major issue and they can't run it through.
Some technical shit you're not expecting.
Right. Yeah. You just not prepared for it. But I know, I mean, that's kind of why I know, with Netflix, when they did was it the Jake Paul Tyson fight? They did that before, that was a test run and they had some issues. They got those resolved before they were going to do Raw every week. So I was worried that there could be some issues with this one, but I think they worked that out all with college football and stuff. So
yeah, it was good.
All right. Well, shit, I feel like that's probably what we want to cover for today. We'll do another episode this week at some point, but yeah, tune in everybody this Thursday, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time through our YouTube account, which if you're not subscribed, please go subscribe, youtube.com/@AltJakeTakesOn. It's free. It helps us out. We love everybody. Please come help us out. Anything else you got, buddy?
It'll be a good time. It'll be fun.
Awesome. Well, all right, cool. Well, we will see everybody next week. Please continue to share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we will catch you next time. Peace, everybody.